Welcome back. In my previous videos, I discussed how elementary to middle school age children could manage and save their money. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. So as a mother of teens, I've gone through all of the stages of life of children managing, saving, budgeting, and spending their money. So today I wanted to go over a couple of things that I've learned along the way. So how do you help your teen manage their money that they earn through work? When my son first got his job, he saw his first paycheck and he wanted to spend it all. Of course, with me, I was like, you cannot spend all of your money. Let's find some ways that you can save it for the future because let's face it, eventually you're gonna be moving out. So with my son, when he got his first paycheck, we already had a savings account set up for him and a checking account as well. So with him getting his first job, we sat down with our son and we talked about how he can start to manage his money that he was receiving from his paycheck. We encouraged him to save 50% of each paycheck and put it away into his savings account. The other 50% went into his checking account. So he was able to spend 25% on that on just different things that he wanted to purchase. The other 25% was just a buffer that was in his account just in case he needed it. But there were also times where he didn't spend it and he put that money into his savings account. This way, when he did eventually move out, he was able to have money in his savings account that he could use for future purchases. He was also able to enjoy some of the fruits of his labor by being able to spend 25% of that income. Now, with my daughter, she doesn't have a job, but she does receive an allowance. But it's not really an allowance, it's money that we give her every month so that she can afford things that she wants to purchase and the ability to put gas in her car on the way to school. Now, every time she puts gas into the car, she uses her debit card or credit card and subtracts that from what she has in her checking account. Now, it is important to sit down with your child and to help them understand why they are saving the money that you have them putting away into a savings account. Ask them what goals they have for their future, and this gives them a guideline on why they're saving the money for the long term and also the short term as well. How do you help your child make these financial goals? Have them create a vision board of short-term and long-term goals that they have for themselves. Now, when I talked in the previous videos, when we talked about the youth, we had them make one item that they wanted to purchase. Now, as a teenager, they may have additional goals that they want to achieve for themselves. So putting these on a vision board can help them achieve those goals in the short term, the midterm, and the long term. And it's a visual representation of the things they want to achieve throughout their life. Next, you want to teach your child how to understand and learn how to use credit wisely. Now, one thing that we did for our youngest child is we made her an authorized user on our credit card. Now, with that, she is an authorized user on multiple credit cards, but she's only able to use one or two of those cards. She does use a credit card when she purchases gas for her car. This is a protection mechanism because you've probably seen at times when you go to the gas station and you swipe your debit card and all of a sudden it's hacked. So I encourage her to use a credit card to pay for gas at gas pumps and at other businesses that may seem a little sketchy. So once she uses that credit card, I did have a conversation with her prior to her being able to use it to let her know that she's an authorized user on my account. So any purchases that are made as an authorized user affect my credit as well. So every time she makes a purchase for credit, we follow up on a weekly basis to see any charges that she made on the credit card. We actually set up her checking account to my credit card so that she could pay for those purchases from her checking account and not mine. This helps her manage her income a little easier and balance her checking account instead of waiting for me to transfer the funds. Now, I also let her know that every single purchase is reflected on your credit report and it can affect your credit score. So informing your children of how credit works, how to pay a credit card, paying a credit card on time, and managing it wisely can help them into adulthood. So how do you protect your child against identity theft? Well, I did mention that every time she goes to a gas station or she goes to a potentially sketchy store, that I encourage her to use the credit card that she has with her. This reduces the possibility of her debit card getting charged and the money that's in her checking account disappearing. So I encourage her to check her checking account on a weekly basis to ensure that any debits that are there were actually made by her. Next, you want to teach your child how to manage debt. This could be student loans, this could be mortgage loans, it could be credit card debt. A big part of that is paying your credit cards on time, paying your mortgage on time, paying more than the minimum for these. When lenders look at your credit report, they want to see that you're not overextending yourselves with the amount of available credit that you have. So if your child has $20,000 of available credit and they're using $19,000, the lenders are going to look unfavorably at that. So teaching them how to have that available credit, but not to max out what they have available to them, can help them build that secure financial future. Now, after you discuss all these things with your kid, you want to teach them about saving towards a goal. Now, how do you save towards a goal? You want to save towards a goal using the SMART method. Goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So what are they saving for? Are they saving for shoes? Are they saving for a bike? Are they saving for a car? Saving for goals using the SMART method can make it easier to achieve and relatable to you, and have a time period that you want to achieve that goal by. Have you ever set a goal for yourself of, say, 5 years from now, I want to save $3,000. Well, when you write that goal down, you're able to achieve it a little faster. However, if you don't achieve it within that time period, you can adjust your goals. Goals have a moving target, but don't move them too far out, because then you may not achieve them at all. So talking to your child about saving for a goal and all of these other methods can help them build that solid financial future that they can take into adulthood. Finally, don't be afraid to talk to your child about finances. If they come to you with a question and you don't know it, it's okay. We don't always all have the answers. So researching that answer with them, tell them you'll get back to them. It makes them be more comfortable with talking about money. So if you haven't had a chance to view the other videos about teaching elementary to middle school age children about learning about managing and saving their money, check those out when you get a chance. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And feel free to reach out to me if you need additional financial assistance at www.harriswealthcoach.com. Thank you for joining me.